In the 40 years he has influenced me and my work, Patrick Lane and I have only been in the same room 3 times. The first was my first-year undergrad, when Patrick came to read from his Governor General's award-winning book, Poems New and Selected. I had always loved poetry and my father's recitations of it. It was my best language with my dad, and his best with the world. But my father was not a poet. His few sonnets were derivatives of what he loved in others, but could not find in himself. For me at the time, poetry was a way the charming past visited the present, but did not stay. I was going to be a scientist. Then Patrick came to Trent. In his poetry, the present overflowed with his life as a medic in the sawmills of BC, with his desperate wandering in Central and South America, flowering in language that was full and horrible and magnetic and gorgeous. And then came this poem that Patrick later told me his editor at Oxford fought to keep out of the manuscript, and if Patrick put it back in, he did not want to be told. Patrick read, If, like that dying woman in Mexico, who fed her family by fucking a burro on a wooden stage in Tijuana, you are alone and I am drunk again on tequila, refusing to die, hearing the madness of the burro as the woman wept with pain. You are naked and I no longer want you. If I could choose a last vision, it would be the dream of the knife, the dream of the death of pain. Put on your clothes. I am obscene. I am one of those who laughed when the burro dropped her on the floor. And the whole world was in that room gone silent, and that room shrank to the page in his hand, the poetry of witness doing its work, of not allowing what we know but want to forget to pass into dust. And I knew. Later, when Patrick took questions about his art, he said we learn poetry by imitation, but if we persist, we find our own voice because we are bad imitators. I didn't know whether I had in me then the poet I wanted to be, but I gave myself the next 10 years because I was young and didn't know how long things really take to find out. I began by imitating Patrick Lane. But as he predicted, and my father's attempts had shown, despite the brutalities of the world I put into my early work, imitation is about the surface, and your own poetry cannot come to you if you remain above the words, looking down.